Hey guys, I'm back for another video. This time I'm going to be doing a video about how me and my husband met. So, I hope y'all like it. Alright, so me and my husband, we met at a Halloween party. Um, my friend worked with my husband's mother. So, um, my husband's mother was invited to my friend's party, Halloween party, so she came and she brought my now husband. So, and I was with somebody then. I was with my son's father then. But, like a lot of people know, I went through a lot in that relationship and I wasn't happy. So, sorry, that was a little fly. So, I met him, we partied that night and we didn't mention anything about us liking each other or anything like that. It was just mutual. We were all friends partying. And his mom was telling him, make her drink. Sorry guys, I had to take a little break. So yeah, he was making us drinks and stuff. His mom was telling me he was a bartender. He was never even a bartender. I don't know why she was saying that, but anyways, he was making us drinks and stuff. We partied. And then I ended up seeing him again at my friend's, at this same friend. I ended up seeing him again at this friend's Thanksgiving party. And this time, we partied or whatever, and his mom was telling me, oh, my son likes you. And I was like, oh, I like him too, but I was kind of shy. Like I said, I was with somebody, but I wasn't happy. It wasn't good. It wasn't a good relationship at all, the relationship I was in. All right, had to take another break. Sorry. So anyways, I was like, oh, I like him too. So anyways, we liked each other. We saw each other around. After that, we would see each other a lot. His mother and him, they lived in the same apartment complex as me and my mother. And we would see him around. We would go to his house and I would party with his mom, me and my cousins and some friends. We would all go party with his mom because his mom was really, really cool. She was really, really outgoing. She loved to party. So I would love to go party with her. She's a real, real fun party person. So, one day, I was at his house and, we talked and he was like, I like you. And I told him, I was like, I like you too. But I told him, I said, I'm in a relationship. And he was like, well, I'm in a relationship too. And he's like, that he wasn't happy and I wasn't happy. So he was like, well, we could start talking. We could see where we could go from here, but you have to leave them and I have to leave the person I'm with, obviously, because we want to start talking. We got to know each other and like each other. And so I was like, okay, I'll do that. And he's like, all right, well, you let me know when you're ready. And I was like, okay. So like a couple of days later, because I was ready, because I really, really liked him. I really, really, really liked him. He was like so sweet to me. He was like super sweet. So I was like, a couple of days later, I was like, okay, I told him I didn't want to be with him no more. And he's like, all right, well, me too, so are we together? It happened so fast, like we were young. I was 18 going on 19 and he was 18. No, I'm lying. I was 19 going on 20. He was 18. So we started talking, and like I said, we both lived in the same apartment complex. We didn't even know this, and guys, we didn't even know that we lived in the same place. I don't know how I've never crossed his mother or him, because we didn't even know until we met each other at a friend's party. And he's like, oh, I live here. And I'm like, really? I live there too. But we never ran across each other. So I would see him a lot after that. He knew I was at my mom's house. He would call me and be like, come outside, I want to see you. And I'm like, okay, I'll come outside. And he would, be hugging me and he would kiss me. I remember our first kiss. I remember when he kissed me, I was like, oh my God, I was so scared. I'm not lying. I was like nervous. But he was like, I really, really like you. And I really, really liked him too. Like, I fell in love with my husband instantly when I met him. It might sound really, really weird, guys, because I was in a relationship, but it was a really, really bad, toxic relationship where I was getting beat. It wasn't good at all for me. So I was really, really thankful that I met my husband. So we started seeing each other more, and I started spend night over his house, and we end up saying that we were married. We weren't even married, but he was already telling everybody I was his wife. And I was with him a lot after that. Like, a lot after that. Where he was like, you know what? I'm going to get me a good job and I'm going to give me an apartment just so I could be with you. And so you come stay with me. And I was like, okay, yeah, do that because I'm staying with my mom right now. And, you can't come over to my mom's and you're with your mom. We were young. So he was like, okay, I'm going to get a job and get an apartment. That's what he did. His first check, he got an apartment. And remind y'all guys, we didn't have nothing in this apartment. Nothing at all. I had my mom and them help me and they gave me couches and stuff. And, it was just me, him, and my son living in this apartment. He was doing security then. He was a security guard. So, we moved in with each other and we were in love to this day. We're still in love. Like my husband, he's the sweetest guy ever. I've never ever had somebody so sweet like my husband. And he's a really, really hard worker. He's a spray technician. He makes a lot of money and he wants more kids, but we can't have no more kids, and I don't think we need any more kids neither. So, but that's besides the point. I'm sorry, I started jumping into stuff. So before I forget, let me tell y'all. One time when I was at my friend's house, and it was a party, my friend asked me, can I go pick up him and his mom? This is before we got together. And I was like, yeah, I'll go pick him up. So I went to go pick him up, and then he comes, and it's him and his mom and his girlfriend. She wasn't a young girl. She was a lady. He was like, like I said, he was like 19. I'm like 18 going on 19. So this lady was like 20 something going on 30. She was way older than him. So anyways, she didn't know no English. She was a Salvadorian lady. So they get in the car. He gets in the front seat, which is really, really weird. If I was his girlfriend then, I would have been like, whose front seat are you getting in? No, you're going to sit in the back with me. But she didn't do that. She didn't know any English neither. So anyways, he got in the car. She got in the back with his mom, and he was in the front. And the whole time we're driving, he was telling me that how pretty I was. And I'm like, oh my God, his girlfriend's in the back. But come to find out, his girlfriend didn't understand what he was saying because she was Salvadorian. She didn't know no English. So, I was like, that kind of threw me off. I'm like, your girlfriend's here. Like, how are you doing that? But we already had talked. He already told me he wasn't in a happy relationship because she would only come see him like once a month. Whenever she felt like it, I guess she would come see him. And he was seeing me more, So, I already kind of knew the relationship was rocky, but I didn't know I was going to go pick up him and the girlfriend. Because if I would have knew that, I would not disrespect the girl, because at the end of the day, they still were in a relationship then. So I would not ever disrespect the girl like that. But, I got there, they were already waiting outside for me. They jumped in the car and I was like, okay, So before we got back to my friend's house, we stopped at the corner store and she had got out with the mom and he stayed in the car. And he was like, I just want you to know that I really, really like you. Like, I'm sorry I had to bring her. She just showed up in my house and we had to bring her with us. And I was like, nah, it's all cool. It's whatever. We're not together anyways. We're friends. We did mention we like each other. But I'm still in a relationship. You're still in a relationship. But like I said, my relationship was really, really bad. I was getting beat. I wasn't happy at all. At all. So, we left the store. We got to, my friend's house and my cousins and everybody got there. Because my cousins, we all hang out with the same friends and stuff. And they got there. We started partying. We were dancing and stuff. And me and my cousin were dancing bachata. And I could see him from the corner of my eye, kept on looking at me. But he had his girlfriend there. So there was no way we could talk. There was no way we could communicate really. Because his girlfriend, you could tell she was really, really jealous of me. You could tell once they got in my car. You could tell she was like, oh my God, like who just picked us up? But she never said nothing. So, me and my cousin are driving. Driving. We're dancing. I could see him in the corner of my eye. He's looking at me, and I'm like, oh my God, like his girlfriend doesn't see him looking at me. It's gonna be some problems. Like I said, I've always told everybody, I'm not a fighting type to fight or anything like that. I don't like fighting or anything like that. I've never liked stuff like that. So I was like scared. I'm like, oh my God, he's about to start some problems. His girlfriend's looking at us, Anyways, come to find out, his girlfriend ended up telling him that he better stop looking at me or she was gonna go pull my eyeballs out. She told him she's gonna pull my eyeballs out. So he was like, no, I'm not looking at her, you know, they're gay. He was telling his girlfriend that me and my cousin were girlfriends. I don't know what made him do that, but he was like, you know, that was the only way she was gonna be quiet. She wasn't gonna cause problems if I told her that you and your cousin were girlfriends. Which I've never ever been with a girl in my life, and I never would be with a girl. No offense to anybody that likes girls, you know, that makes you happy, and that's you, you know. It really doesn't matter to me. So I was like, oh my god. Well, anyway, she ended up getting mad at that party. I guess he was looking at me too much or something, and she ended up taking off, and she took off walking back to his house, his apartment, him and his mom. So she ended up taking off walking, and then he ended up taking off walking right back at her because he wasn't gonna let her just walk, you know. Obviously they were arguing because, you know, he was feeling me and he was doing it in front of her, which I think was really, really disrespectful, and he would never ever do that in front of me, you know. But his mom was like, oh yeah, she left, she was mad because, you know, he kept on looking at you. I think she noticed that there's something going on. And I told his mom, like, there's nothing going on though, we're just friends, you know, we just drink and stuff and party together. We've never even hugged or kissed or anything like that. We were just friends, but he liked me and I liked him. So his mom was like, well, can you take me to my house? I could, you know, go see what's going on. I'm like, sure, you know. So I took her back home. I'm lying. I don't think I took her back home. I think she ended up calling him or something. This was, oh my God, this was so many years ago. I'm trying to put the story together and see if I remember everything, but it was so long ago. Let's see. All right, fast forward. He ended up calling me and telling me, hey, you know, I'm sorry that happened, you know, because he did have my number because we used to talk, you know, but we were friends, like, you know, we were nothing else. So he was like, hey, my girlfriend, she went to sleep, you want to come over? And I'm like, me go over your house with your girlfriend there and she's asleep? And he's like, well, yeah, you know, she fell asleep and this and that, you know, I just want to talk to you. And I'm like, no, I'm not going over to your house and your girlfriend's there asleep. That's really, really disrespectful. It's already disrespectful that I put her in my car and me and you were kind of talking. And it's already disrespectful that I put you in my car and that's the car that my son's father got me. So I'm like, we're already disrespecting both parties, you know. So, you know, he was like, okay, you're not gonna come over, then I'll just see you tomorrow or sometime. And I was like, all right, you just call me whenever, you know, she's not around or whatever, and we'll talk. You know, I know it might sound wrong, guys, because he was with somebody, but like I said, he wasn't happy. I wasn't happy, you know. And he was new out here to Houston. He really didn't know anybody out here from Houston. He was from New York. So, you know, we had grew a bond, and we all had grew a bond with this same circle. We all knew the same people, you know, so we would all talk and party together. So one year for his birthday, my friend, which is the one that introduced us, my friend, she's a girl, she took him and his mom and her husband, they all went to a club. And my friend was calling me, was telling me, hey, come, you know, Angel's here. That's what we call him, Angel. She's like, Angel's over here, you know, Angel really wants you to come. He was mad because his girlfriend never showed up. So she calls me and she tells me to go to the club, and I'm like, I never went. I don't know why I didn't go. I don't know if I was out with my girl somewhere else. I'm not sure what happened there, but I never went. And he was really, really sad that night, and I guess that was the last straw for him when his girlfriend didn't show up for his birthday. Which I think that was the reason why I didn't go neither, because I'm like, no, he has a girlfriend. His girlfriend might go. Like, no, you know, just let him do what he has to do with his girl or whatever, you know. So she never showed up, and he was all sad. So anyway, my friend the next day called me, was like, oh my God, he was really looking forward to you coming. He had a hard night. He couldn't believe that girl didn't show up, his girlfriend. And I'm like, okay, like, I like him, but that's not my problem. Like, he's with that girl, so he has to fix that, you know, like. So I'm not the side girl. Like, whenever she's not there, I come. Like, okay, you want me to come over your house? She's not there, I'm gonna come over. Like, no, it wasn't gonna be like that. Even though I really, really liked him a lot, but I'm like, no, you know, I can't do that. That's very, very disrespectful. So, I I ended up seeing him again because his mother had kicked him out, and I had to. He called me, and he told me, he didn't have nowhere to go. So I ended up calling my friend, which is that friend that introduced us, and I was like, "Hey, can he go stay with you?" Because he couldn't come stay with me because I was with my mom, and I was still with my son's father, but we weren't living together. We were living together. I had an apartment with him, but I left him and I went to my mom's, but we were still talking. We were still together. I was still seeing him. So I said, "You can't come with me, but I will call my friend and I will tell her you can stay with her." And he said, "Okay." That's what we did. He ended up staying with my friend. And then from there, it was history. We fell in love with each other. He was like, "I want you to be my wife." So we did exactly how he wanted to do it. He wanted to marry me, and then he wanted me to get pregnant. And that's what happened. Right after we got married, I got pregnant, and we started our little family. And now we got 3 kids together, which my son is his too, my 15-year-old, because he raised him since my son was 2 going on 3. He's been raising my son. So my son's his son too. His dad left out of his life. So, he calls my husband Papi and all. So, we have our little family, and to this day, we're in love, and we will always be in love. And I've never, ever, ever loved somebody like the way I love my husband. Like, he's like the best thing that ever happened to me, and I'm the best thing that ever happened to him. And I'm so happy that I don't have to worry about, cheating or anything like that, because that's not what we do. When we got together and we said we were going to be together, and I was going to leave the person I was with and he was going to leave the person he was with, we said we're doing this because we're not happy and we want somebody, and we want somebody to be happy with and be together with. And we were kids, guys, when this happened, but we knew we loved each other, and we knew that we wanted to be with each other. So we stayed with each other. To this day, we're still with each other, and it's 13 years later, and we're still together. And a couple of times after that, I'm not sure who gave the girl his number, but I kind of know who gave the girl his number, but whatever. She called his cell phone, and she would call my phone, and she would say, "Deja hablar con tu esposo," and like she would tell me stuff like that because we were already married. And so that was the only problem that me and him had when she found our number. And my husband was like, I don't know how the hell she got our number. Even my husband told her when she called one time, "Don't call my phone no more. I'm married." And she was like, "I cannot believe you're with that girl that you put me in her car," which was true. I did put her in my car, but like I said, I didn't know she was there. If I knew she was there, I would never put the girl in my car. I would never even whip for him. I would have been like, "No, I can't do that. That's disrespectful towards the girl." So at the end of the day, we're all women. We're all girls. I call us women girls just to be cute and funny, like girls, But we're all girls, and we know that disrespectful to do that to one another. So I was like, I wouldn't do that. But I kind of knew what kind of relationship he was in, and he knew what kind of relationship I was in. So we were willing to leave them and be with each other, and that's what we did. And I think that was the best thing we ever did, because I love him dearly, and he loves me dearly, and that's our little story. Basically, that's how we met. I hope I didn't forget nothing. Yeah, I don't think I forgot anything. I think that I got everything down pat. So yeah, I hope y'all like the little story time. I didn't think I was ever gonna explain every little thing that happened, but that's what happened. And yeah, and we're married, and we're gonna stay married. And he's my ride or die, and I'm his ride or die. He's my shadow, I'm his shadow, and that's just how it goes. And it's always gonna be like that, because real knows real. And he knows I'm real with him, and he's real with me, and we're just honest with each other. We're like for real friends, where we joke, we play with each other like friends, because that's what keeps our relationship and our marriage going. I think that's what kept us going for so long, guys, to be honest. That we stayed friends in a way, and we told each other everything. We didn't lie to each other about anything, and we just kept it honest. Me and him said, as long as me and you be honest with each other, we'll be good. And that's what we did, and we stuck with that, and that's honestly, that's how we got far, being honest with each other. So yeah, I hope you like the story time, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.
And see what Prince always says, what? Give me.